Still Phoenix, walk on, bro.
You saying M9, man? What you saying, bro?
Good, yeah? What's going on?
Oh, not much, man, but I've been patiently waiting for that one floor, man.
Coming out here, man, just trying to get my thoughts together and shit, you know, man.
I'm still banging out that high fidelity.
Yeah, I hear that, man. Just in the lab, you know, just doing my thing, man. Just trying to write this thing properly. Gather my thoughts in that, man. Right, elevate for my people. Guidance to take, man. You get what I'm saying, man? That's how we do out here, man. 144.
Yeah, man, for real, like, it's like, I didn't know there was anyone as good as me, man, until I heard the triple dance.
Storytelling, project building kind of shit. My brothers and shit, you get what I'm saying? Yo, open your ears to a scream of a motherless child. I climb through motionless soul windows from prominent clouds. Hieroglyphic scriptures from the first breath of existence. Chiseled on my mother's cervix, deep words of wisdom. The works of a burnt Egyptian, from curse to prison. Serpents who turned Christian with the earliest convictions. Tools the youngest post-sport. Nutrition's a coke snort, blowing his thoughts while hoes get bought. Souls are bought, signs of chaos. Disguised display of sayings from an illustration of a child's crayon. Mothers praying, slug arrangements, undercover engagements. The streets bled the color of hatred. Stains splash in the face of the flagrant pavements. Bad habits, crack addicts who practice mathematic equations. You can hear the street pulse of a train running through its veins. The heart is my pen, a novelist apostle. Chosen from fossils, cosmological rubies is what I offer you. Unveil the mask of the most marvelous jewel, the darkest anew. The chosen few, chosen few. Yeah, it's always gonna be like this. One as in the 44th, the 9th planet. Said to save souls and walk people like angels. Yo, it's my offering, 144,000. Yeah. My pennies in cinema. Yo, raising glasses, man. Raising glasses. Skirts into Ethiopia. Triple darkness. Coming.
All of the men to be picked up by ships by the year 2000, they must be informed because the post raised up 144,000 people. Just like the members that manned the first ship was 144,000, 24 elite. Understand that? You must be living up.
Luciferian age and braid the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one. The triple stage of the dark matter. We read the page of the last stage to revelate the Luciferian age and braid the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one. When I'm dead, Canaanites will acknowledge my chromosomes like fossils and stones. Another brother shot from a chrome, crops of unknown haze linger around the block from a smoke. His younger lungs chokes, hustles with the hunger for growth. My black rose stuck in a black hole. She's fascinated by whoever wants to let the strap blow. We counter that though, and regulate the earth's weight in gold like Enki. I meditate to travel your mind to the waters of Euphrates. I draw the sword of a warlord and pierce his chakras. I read so many chapters of Black Shackle from Africa's forgotten massacres. Now we're shutting, plotting inhabitants, dilapidated labyrinths for Africans. Polished clips in this golden metropolis, democracy's on this trick. We never gave a fuck who they elect as one government. I traveled to Sahara continents and witnessed UFOs in aeronautical modes, leaving the globe prominent. From triple stage of the dark matter, we read the page of the last days and revelate the Luciferian age and braid the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one. From triple stage of the dark matter, we read the page of the last days to revelate the Luciferian age and braid the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one.
I'm from Crackney, where the black kids live off latchkeys and harbor dreams to stack G's. Only half graduate from the street academies that used to access savagery, immersed in the malady, searching for sanctuary. Every verse I spit shrapnel grammatically. Life's tragedies captured panoramically, focused to the point of my pen, like the cherry on an L skin. In my ends, niggas feel the force of hell's winds. 12 sins, no repentance. Co-defendants running concurrent on the sentence. Mrs. Daughter's 5th birthday. Why we live the worst way. Burner spray, moving working yay. Memoirs of a slave, stolen from Tamaray. In these dystopian days, I refocus my gaze on the baby mother. Tears splash off a seed's face. Coke inside the briefcase. Bodies going missing without a trace. 1 week later, police identify the deceased. Some mother's heart breaks and turns cold like stone columns. Now she sat solemn, dressed in black beside an old coffin. Pleaded with the most high, while the chrome popping. Niggas stay rubbing, cane shutting. Exploits in the downtrodden, flowers blossom. But the girl always turns them rotten. The girl always turns them rotten.
From triple stage of the dark matter, reread the page of the last days and revelate the Luciferian age and break the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one. From triple stage of the dark matter, reread the page of the last days to revelate the Luciferian age and break the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun.
I decipher your artistry, brought clarity to what was hard to see. A part of me sharded by larceny. I craft odyssey deeper than Scientology. Laboratories performing experimental monopolies on project properties. Advertising a sodomy philosophy. The populace practicing pagan mythology. A brazen scraping our naked psychology. Who failed to scrutinize Western ideology. Blocks clock with peeps who hustle rocks to eat. The muscle is heat. Away I possibly is fossil. Deep coppers creep. Watch me copper heat. It's authority. A Glock 9 with spot mine with prophecy. They ain't trying to keep the streets clean. So I correlate minds like planets aligned to stop the beast instead of copping keys. Breaking the pieces of beef for use to shut the streets. Only cements the throne of hypocrisy. Who claim to govern properly but profit from popping of poppy trees. It's commodity, by the time it hits the block we chop it and breeze. Escaping solitary, puffing on chemical green melodically. Confined our minds demonically, that's why I got to speak. My pen explodes like Lockerbie across these rotten streets. This doctrine's deeply encrusted with jewels I drop on beats.
Yeah. With my paintbrush. Yo, Cyrus Malachi. Yo, I carve these bars, I spit like a master artifice. Painting myriads of pictures, sculpted like clay slabs for niggas who sling bass to cats trapped between the pillars of extinction. Our existence predates creation's depiction of Michelangelo's drawing of God and Adam in the Sistine Chapel. Racist imagery which kept our minds shackled. My mind was revived inside the holy tabernacle. My flows like pre-dynastic writing systems applied over rhythms. I'm like God knowledge nurtured and wrapped inside a turban. I'm like the books of the great library of Alexandria before the Romans burned them. I'm like the Acacia records channeled through the cordless. In my dome is where they store it. I'm like Islamic Moors who brought the first compasses to the shores of Europe on intercontinental tides. I bomb instrumentals with rhymes, explaining our story like Egyptian allegory. My pen in trances like Zulu war dances. Opens your third eye to see beyond the burnt skies. Shootings and bloody crucifixes. The harlot and the useless kisses. Devoid of love like a poisoned dove. My paintbrush came to save us from Satan's clutch. Masonic clubs and Knights Templars. Envision me laid up with a Nubian empress. Reading from scrolls, Codex Adeptus.
My perception of an intimate hell can wave millions of state civilians waving my cape, painting images of hate scarred weight graveyards and spray cars, quasars and space large face laid when the gauge sparks. Light faces with burnt hands, converted tans is the curse of man. Snatched purses and burst grands, perverted glands, servant Sam turning the curve, swerving in the urban scam, burning in the furnace of a Persian land. It's like I see the image before it's on a texture. Complex architects, lectures, dark complexions, the path of a far dimensions, psalm ascensions, the star connections, camouflage in the smart vector, illustrations of paint smother my page. I see brothers running from an undercover's rage. Slit wrists, my pen bleeds when the spliff slit. Mosaic images of deities and hypocrites. Great scriptures of a sacred gift made intimate, explaining the pain of a slave ship, slave immigrant.
Payroll Picasso painted fat flows, depicting how straps clap foes for dough. With abstract brushstrokes, see how the colors coded, preferring shades of green, abstaining from white and brown except when painting fiends. And drug dealer Da Vinci who captured the hustle. Picture black cats with cracks wrapped in their muzzle. Ain't they like crabs in a struggle? Where violators see their lives liquid splashed in a puddle. No Mona Lisa, just an exhibition of baby mothers holding heaters. Picture Van Gogh rolling reefers on the top floor, smoking through a mesh window, composing portraits of misguided girls who graduate from sketch to whores, exposing their tits. He painted flicks where girls suck dick and urinated lips. Shops lock them down and have them hold coke in their clip. Massacre paint this vividness like a lazy cartoonist. Harpoon spit decorative images of insanity. I paint the picture, you just walk through the gallery. I paint a fucking picture, you just walk through the gallery.
I said you shouldn't have did that. Shit, man. Come on, man. Please. You sound like a little bitch. I paid 3, Rodney. You can't stop my hand from shaking. Don't you dare jump out of me, I can't stop my hand from shaking, man. That's it, all right? I told nobody. Did you ever?
Follow me to a place where a face don't smile. There's no hope for youngers on the block running wild. Single parent mothers struggle to support their baby. Their fathers either dead or in jail, we're going crazy. Daughters skip school to link boys with their friends. The boys look up to the older shutters with the bends. The media exploits black deaths with no solution. This is a place where love is just an illusion. The slums. I saw a race who came from bondage and slaves, turning each other with guns, drugs, bonded in slums. Laminated floors as youngers engage in a fabricated cause. A cold presence embraces the state wars. Barricaded doors like cages, holes with low ceilings. Block walls disturb a newborn from dreaming. Echoes on top floors and screaming. The blades inflicted what was once an argument is now a big statistic. Young teens abused, she's confused and frigid, stumbling home from a strong dose of vigilance. My pen paints a place where misery loves to visit. Mothers can sit and suffer in a blizzard. Brothers cut with precision from Pyrex bowls and handed to youngers to silence the roll. Far from a hieroglyph scroll, was once blind, now I focus the scope and saw thoughts as clear as the weed smoke on a cold night. Where odds are risky like a roll dice, and tramps make their beds on a broke site. Cancerous cells bite the whole night, living a soulless life. The most high embrace strength and honor. Utopian mind state, the mind's greater than the Tamarayan scholar. Cautiously walking floors beneath a shutter. Can time cure all past scar? There's a question I couldn't ask until it's appointed and played in the past. What does it take to make you realize we killing each other? My black brother from another mother. We going under. How strong is the purpose if you live another man's word? It takes a wise man to always stand and observe. What does it take to make you realize we killing each other? My black brother from another mother. We going under. How strong is the purpose if you live another man's word? It takes a wise man to always stand and observe. Picture a pain of a planet in orbit, where populated tells keep the frail nauseous. Observe yourselves in hell's fortress. Juvenile bells, female abortions, fallen leaves. Police conceal the source of beef. The illest scenes of street sorceries. I walk with thought, thinking me cautiously amongst the states who occupy space with rumors. Bullets ricochet through the fate of revolution. Urinated staircases, the first stage for kids display illusions. Outrageous schooling creates a heat wave of blade movements. He left school to create ways of consuming and engage in the mystical game of execution. Oppressed slaves crave evolution. Ostentatious conclusions stuck in the shape from a radio solution. Painted pages display outrageous beef is contagious. Blowing out brains with loaded gauges. The oldest and the same brother with holes in his trainers. The road of a lost soul is invaded. Mothers stare through constellations for change of a nefarious nation. Barricaded in their own enslavement. Ain't nothing greater than to see you in suits. A metal Persian blind urban youth with the urge to learn from his roots. Instead of being hurt from a wound preserved in the tomb. Your mother worked to further your school, not serve with a tool. Observing convertible crews and find it hard to express. Knowing there's something wrong beyond being a product of stress. With thugs lost respect, belly puffing on cess. The dust on his chest just searching for fresh bud to sucker for drugs. What does it take to make you realize we killing each other? My black brother from another mother, we going under. How strong is the purpose if you live another man's word? It takes a wise man to always stand and observe. What does it take to make you realize we killing each other? My black brother from another mother, we going under. How strong is the purpose if you live another man's word? It takes a wise man to always stand and observe. Why live like a servant in hell when I can live like a king in heaven? Why live like a servant in hell when I can live like a king in heaven? Heaven, heaven. Why live like a servant in hell when I can live like a king in heaven, young brother? Why live like a servant in hell when I can live like a king in heaven? Heaven, heaven. The heaven's down, going through. The last one is production. Your parents, put the darkness, put the guns down. Heaven. Why live like a servant, put the knives down. Stop piercing the space. I live like a servant.
Watchmen, in the scheme of Oriental things, were important people. They watch cities. They watch communities. They stood upon lofty walls. And the security of these cities and these communities depended upon the alertness of these watchmen.
Many stumble on an early abyss, serving for bliss, swerving in this mist, bursting off the dirtiest sticks, yearning for figures, making purchases for pearlier wrists, pile of various whips, picks, push the earlier shifts, packing fat battens to crack a black impervious wig, wrapping crack stackers who nurture chips, Assyrian bricks, precarious risks, performed by the murderous and thirstiest links, manic for matters of Aquarian stick, dodging rugged robbers, revolving with the reckless, negative nexus, sentenced to vengeance, the essence doesn't press us with the blessing of exceptions, the great deceptions, the self-selection, dwelling in a hell where wealth's perfection, razor blade romance, swinging serrated swords to slay Conan, this is the lizard image of a ghost man, wizards and nomads, gift them with toe ties, they got the women living sinister in visions of a Vogue mag, our brothers chrome caps, our craving cats, they want soul crack, the soldiers rolling over on their coals to get their home back, they let their hope snap, others hung their neck where the pole stand and broke their throat like a lonely rope strand, in these cold times, pharaohs with chrome knives,
Low lives, she throws signs, serpents who sow lies.
servants with coat ties, we kick molten rhymes
For golden mines engulfed by these cold nights.
we uphold the wise, pharaohs with chrome nines,
Low lives, who throw signs, serpents who sow lies.
servants with coat ties, searching through closed eyes,
Only the chosen survive. In my hood, hell's flames flicker beneath the embers of heroin injectors and ex-offenders, tormented by desolate stretches of concrete. Where God's beef, rotten streets, dealers who cop keys, cracks the poison that destroys them. On the stove, the product boiling. From the CIA to the CID, the plan was to annihilate the Black Sea. Through drug addiction and poverty, gang culture grew. Now straps squeeze on you as the devil sacrifices the Nubian youth. This truth hurts my heart. That's why I write about it in every bar, inscribed in paragraphs colder than Alaskan winters, where the niggas continue to screw face me, succumbing to the serpent's whispers or the depravities of Hades. My pen was destined to raise deities like Melchizedek. I unveil knowledge like buried Kemetic chests containing scrolls and gems, from the ISIS papers to conniving racists in police uniforms, controlled by nations, spoken of in revelations, with 7 heads and 10 horns like unicorns who live to see us mourn. Tears pour from innocent eyes which realize pure evil dwells inside the core of this system, the same system responsible for millions of lynchings, whippings and killings and maimings. There's no taming the beast of the field. Now we reach for the still and clap at our own. Most of the ghetto suffers from post-slavery syndrome. With bravery I speak from the soul like Nina Simone in an etheric tone, reading from poems poems which uplift, spitting blood like cut lips. As Canan's handcuffs cut our wrists, screaming injustice.
In these cold times, pharaohs with chrome knives.
Low laughs, he throws signs, serpents who sow lies.
The servants with cold ties, we kick molten rhymes.
For golden lands engulfed by these cold nights.
We uphold the wise, pharaohs with chrome nines.
Low laughs, he throws signs, serpents who sow lies.
The servants with cold ties, searching through closed eyes.
Only the chosen survive. In these days of judgment, you can trust this. In these days of judgment, you can trust this. You can trust this. Yeah. Cyrus Malachi, blasphemy, triple darkness, Phonics.
That's a nice gun. Yeah, that's a beautiful little gun. Look at that.
Yo, I was born a brown skin with a darker imagination. Cuts grazes beyond playing. My war was against Satan. Fascinated by guns, and even though my one was plastic, my mind was passive in the back. I practiced tactics. Me and my brother running rapid over black gardens like captains. The sickest thing the mind could imagine. I made sure I never lost the war. Made my cousin hide behind the wall while I camouflaged behind the door. For pride we died for cause. Stained polo shirts stuck to the dirt, ducking grenades, staring at my father sitting with a smile on his face. The clouds arch over the darkness of days. Allah be amazed. The hardest was a target when we spark and engaged. The mind was too deep to comprehend. From the age of 10 I came to war and spilled blood for the cause. I was pretend. Smart friend I used to roll with used to show me how to load clips. Gun holder diplomas of soldiers in this cold blitz. My infinite life had me surviving with a stone grip. Grown rhythm and soul, pistols blown in the foes hit. My childhood years was jumping off atop of chairs, taunting opponents, just laying on the floor waiting fear. Think I cared? Tie my sister's head to the frame of the stairs, holding hostages until I saw tears. Was never scared. Plotting infantry wars and top floors of cold corridors, broken locked doors, never running from what we saw. Plotting minds of destruction of a child who's now a man. Studying the blueprint to a real powerful plan, where the dream is unseen and the theme is really satanic. So it's best you wake the fuck up before you suffer something tragic. Cause if I didn't have manners, I'd load them hammers, run up on you managers and throw you off a banister. I'm burning A&Rs, fake labels and cars, kidnapping R&B rappers for fabricating they bars. Faggots.
You may end a man's life, but his son is now your new enemy. A warrior respects another warrior, even when he is his enemy. A warrior kills only to protect his family or to keep from becoming a slave. We believe not in death, but in life. And there is no object more valuable than a man's life.
Cyrus Malachi, triple darkness, you know? The flow's doper than coca leaves. Every 16 like secretions of dopamine. Cut you up like aubergines. This is rap like it's supposed to be. What happened to the growth of MCs? My metaphors like molecules that form proteins. Triple dark soul seams, you blow steam. My ink mixed with pyrimidine. Leave you swollen needing antihistamines and anti-inflammatories. The caress of a poet's vocabulary. Batter you systematically. Stomp holes in your chest cavity. Shatter your skull, damaging the frontal lobe. Weapon of choice, the pen with the deadliest stroke. Richard Wright when I'm writing. Adhere to the novelist's oath, inspiring. Kicking riveting flows with a poignant lining. Descriptive and cold, the anointed redefining the limits of rap. Like Sumerian cigarettes, I twist your cap. Like Nigerian imports. We came from kings, lords, Riskians and Moors. But now we sling rocks and face judgment in court. Half our children remain scarred at the core, yearning for what they weren't taught. That's what my verse brought. You'll find something medicinal within my lyrical. That's why rappers catch palpitations when I spit at you. Darts rip for your physical.
No one will ever really know. Cause the more you know, the more you think you know that you don't know fuck all. So a wise man always said to me, With wise words comes a sour tongue. Live in a battered slum with holographic powers and towers where cowards run. Flowers, some guns, some bow to the sun. Beneath clouds, rowdy with rum, bouncing for a mountain of funds. His eyes greet with a scheme to stick you for 1,000 keys and shower your fleece like fountains bouncing off seeds. Plant seeds in the ovary of Eve. I greet souls and squeeze a strange hold. I preach Moses for peace, build amongst superstitious villains. Plotting minds on hills of Hitler's killers. Ministers' visions, civilian killings. My innocence disintegrated, living in chambers. My natural elements formed from a forbidden haven. The willing of an ancient. Witness you of foes and fire formations, hiding from agents. The sight of amazement, wisdom of slaves engraved in with 8 men. I carved in the foundation of greatness, stuck in solitude. Burn 1,000 molecules. My third eye's my scholar's view for those mentally trapped in the solitude. But the science of jewels, writing rhymes and periodic tables of prominent facial, locked within the block that's fatal. And seeing brothers drop from the Glock, watching on cables never helps to serve the sight of angels. Lust and betrayal is the main attributes of a whole. Throwing stones at Sharon, spray 144,000 bullets at the headed dragon.
Anime, it's pretty anime. Very anime. Sick of it, I'm sick of it. Sick of these weak bars, these fake rappers, bro. No, that's how, you know what I'm saying, bro. This is a very low. Serious, man. Let me add with that shit, man. Sick of it, man. Tired of it, bro. You know what I mean? This is a very special music, blood. Stop pissing all over her. Stop defaming her. You get me? She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. You don't take her out. You don't buy her shit. She ain't no cheap hoe. A 2-bit slut. That man found in the back alley, bro. It's not that. Serious. Anyway, let me ad-lib it.
We always delude ourselves that time is in motion. Time does not move forward, nor does it come from behind. Time does not ascend upward, nor does it descend from above. The time is now, now is the time. The time is then, now is not then. We must learn the realities of existence and reverse the process of self-deterioration, both mentally and physically, and with that confirmed fact, become the part of all. When real evil moves in silence, sirens and violence got me thinking which men are not surviving and trying it with bias line. They take knowledge of self to see tomorrow. Pistols borrowed, swimming in sorrow. Eyes closed, physicals hollow for peer pressure. Endless tears, you kid, memories treasured. Menace enemies, seven forbidden vengeance. Sick intentions, who benefits on preventing these percentages of black murder sentences. It makes more sense to pretend it never exists. While we burn splits, oblivious disciplines, victims with ignorant intuitions and visions of promiscuous. My hand is frozen from the pistol I'm holding until it's fired. Victims of galactical shifts living in violence. Interplanetary intense meridian alignments. Where lips conceal hits with no one to confide in. Within perimeters of tyrants. Equipped pistols settle ballistic issues to rip tissues in silence. Predict street ditches for greed bitches. You can find the mystique sidekicks. The streets bleed the righteous. I walk aside of a thief who seeks a deep enlightenment. Sold the street obituaries. Test heat and dense pressures like Panamanian shores. The streets are scary. Pissy estate space portals. To faith for the young facing courtrooms. Embrace blades just to taste something on Northville. A foul place to walk through. Razor blade face guards, blood spillages, apocalyptic syndicates, politic on plate shifted, pivot, a lost planet seeking immaculate scriptures, tragic depictions, grey matter splattered in visions, adapt to intangible wisdom, shattered divisions. My pen captures powerful collisions, from cold estate passages to blacks wrapped in arrogance in prison. We need to establish and change these tragic conditions. You rather live the life of backing up white, trapped in the savage night, illusionary tragic paradise, metropolis nights, governs visions of destruction amongst the suffering. Became accustomed from observations of those struggling for mumbling. He came to leave a couple and breeze. Body temperatures lower degrees, his physical sees. So it's tomorrow headed. He's crippling weapons and lessons. Images of Armageddon from who fell from the heavens. Phone call connections for fresh boxes of a mental apocalypse. Knowing he can never trust who's ever offered it. Monotonous blocks, holotip shots, never prosperous. Swallowing rocks, locked for serving anonymous cops. Testing reborn, Serena's a whole feeding with bleeding sores. When she should be feeding for force, screaming and demon wars. We need to be reading more. Witness so many salves, guns, hustlers, drugs, smugglers, cuffs us on the regular. With secular souls, got me questioning is heaven so close. And this soul is in the road where the predators go. And Satan's essence dwells where the wind blows. Got women turning into nymphos. Got kids in shitloads staring out windows. Amongst killers and cold with flawless blood, diamond stones. Hustling for when they older brother come home. While
son of a messenger, civilizing those living irregular. Razor blade face guards, blood spillages, apocalyptic syndicates, politic on plate shifted, pivot a lost planet, seeking immaculate scriptures, tragic depictions, grey matter splattered in visions, adapting with tangible wisdom, shattered divisions. My pen captures powerful collisions, from cold estate passages to blacks wrapped in arrogance and prison. We need to establish and change these tragic conditions.
Yo, it's strictly non-fictitious. We dwell in appalling conditions, from Claptown to Dawson, Kingsland. Triangulate the enemy position, form an army to the east like Asians. Project Mayhem, love for the dough captivated my soul in the devil's playpen. Bought and sold where the slaves went. Many levels to the situation. My consigns are snakes and ladders. Jay's clap of hammers, ringing loud through the stately manor. Echoes of silence become haunted. The task of salvation now seem daunted. Soldiers left falling like angels. Postscript the war journal. Blowing trees the color purple. Penetrate your circle of generals. Make them tremble at the gates. Assemble like G8 global powers. The state towers like ancient Babylon. My basic thought form was born. Growing up in Clapton Pond. Young juveniles on the blocks. Hearts icy like Jack Frost. Use code names like they special ops. Learned to conversate with Glocks. Couldn't get a job, wrong attitude. Kept the temple with a short fuse. Barely out of school in the passage. Stacking more drugs than a pharmacist. Cooking up the bicarbonate. Small cow to the meat market. Enter my triangle of darkness. Lunar cycles of enchantment. Strange fruit still hanging in the garden. Still hanging in the garden.
My father disregarded the seed to foster a new breed of illuminated greed, provocative shock pulses, paint biological block cultures, obnoxious prognosis of soul-soaked in corrupt vultures, flow convulsions, provoke spontaneous motions, 720-degree circles, gravitate thoughts and deep elite verbals, mystique streets bleed eternal, spleens purple beneath sticks, leaves of myrtle, mass perimeters of Israelite queens is fertile, I rap scrolls in algebraic terminals from the depths of Katoon, black Arafat, diplomatic goons, clapping beneath meridian news, nefarious thoughts, face the judge calmly in an aquarium court, spoke with a blood-soaked sentence, ferocious dentist, Dr. Death, those comatose chemists, black suits, guns and known legends, corrode elements, blows the cerebellum, 7 known heavens, immortalize the soul destined, 12 henchmen, drunk on round tables with a cold presence, settle foes verbally with no weapons, vocal ascensions, universal cold lectures, spoke of multiple dimensions like acidic Jews, squeeze the liver off my pen to bleed scriptures of forbidden jewels, marble optics of black onyx, Masonic logics, electronic, telekinetically moving objects, the pants sagging black prophet, dismantle doctrines as time answers questions, the mind has trouble locking, shamans in the dark forest, parallax visions, characters cosmic, build on particles atomic, like 4 horsemen of apocalypse, Manhattan projects, chronicles of corruption, soul abductions, pollute Lucifer's production with a gold substance.
Burn your effigy, flow polluted like the Thames estuary, effortless telepathy, all up inside your head in high fidelity, Melanin 9, the bloodline of the heresy, high plains pedigree. These MCs of a generic breed get blitzkrieg when I'm penning these 16s for my enemies. They getting washed up in the slipstream of being minor celebrities with vagina-like tendencies. My sound shattering the peace and serenity. Homemade explosives, deadly recipes. Attack mentally, attract ultramagnetically. You get smashed categorically by the highest authority. Your psychology's basic. I move premeditated to brainstorm on these torn pages.
sinister sight filled with sinners and promiscuous types, malicious syndicates and killers alike, spiritual criminals, political verbal minerals, murder metaphysical.
From the uterus to the crucifix, before that a fugitive moving bricks with lunatics, abusing sticks, twos and splits, smoothly lit, politicking or something lucrative. Scene of a movie flip with mafia minds connect, crime sirens and city lights. The sinister side be business is shiesty, administered pipe dream, criminal minister, cynical lyricist might be spitting that fickleness, lyrics written with simple rhyme schemes. But I wrote this with the palm of a goldsmith. My darks arched the path of atonement, sparking your clone back into an abyss. Sunshine so bright you can transform it, food for thought, for photosynthesis. Birth knowledge in the form of a chrysalis. What butterflies take flight, wings made from pages of my penmanship, which replicates when a chrome blows. Uphold the flows, don't oppose or get jabbed in your open nose. Rappers get stacked up like totem poles. My pain cascade over my so-called foes. I folded chromosomes with golden revolving poems imposed over those revolting. Dissolve them in sulfur oceans. I choke them for stolen slogans.
Dark forces burning arc, spark in the name of a lost wrath. Hidden mask, guard the sweet scent of a heartless scarf. The weapons of carved, the predator's selection will starve. A secular perception, molest the malevolent bars, benevolent heart. Collect evidence on kinetic cars, trapped from the heavens, swerving in suburban sections. The birth of this earth was cursed, words burn skeletons. Soak you in a selection of chemical verbal elements. A Maccabee, immaculate being, 1,000 terabyte capacity. Decapitate with a sword of calamity, crack your anatomy. Name written in golden passions, explode after select practices. Blown into fractions, soak in the cold waters of Nazareth. Solar savages choke your manager. The gold is where the famine is. Bounce holes like ounces of couches, council houses. Powerful loud sounds of Malcolm's profound announcements. Roundhouse with the crown of falcons, the sound of fountains crashing down on cloud mountains. So stay there, wrapped in a lyrical silkworm, proclaiming you're still burned. My vivid image is the sinister vision of spilled crime sirens and city lights. Envision a sinister sight filled with sinners and promiscuous types, malicious syndicates and killers alike, spiritual criminals, political verbal minerals, murder metaphysical.
Hey yo, I seen the cycle, we bleeding vital when demons rival. They scheme to fight you and see you idle beneath the Bible. Witness the birth of a treacherous nebulous, reckless sentences more perilous than criminal evidence of slave peddlers.
Astronomical souls, blow prominent chromes, demonic apocalypse close. The prophecy shows a comet. I'm hacking into brain fragments, fatal attractions, frame shattered to grain fractions. The face of Nazareth.
Suburban massacres, burners murder these African servants, smirking, purging these labyrinths, working to capture us.
Comparable rap parables, trapped parallel to ourselves of blaspheming puppets like Colin Powell on the power scale.
Uncle Tom, Toby and house niggas hold me and count figures for crumbs on the death, so they brothers to death for foul riches.
So got my us the bar lobby, the almond raw, carving bars in harmony. You're part of the fathers who formed the master. Crime sirens and city lights, envision a sinister sight filled with sinners and promiscuous types, malicious syndicates and killers alike, spiritual criminals, political verbal minerals, murder metaphysicals.
Extrasensory perceptions, hood reflections, dogs that'll blow your skull into subsections, chunks of flesh covered as crepes, we dying by the seconds. This is like heaven and hell's coalescence. Another case pending, we fenced in. Sons of Canaan passing sentence. Judges giving out 3 to 5s. We leave behind reaping seeds, lonely wives who suffer sleepless nights. Beneath the reaper's night where physiques get sliced. Gunshots, stab wounds, niggas getting beaten till their bones protrude, looking like their whole dome's been chewed. Bitter hearts leave holes in crews. Isomorphic cycles control the paths we choose. Each of my bars remarkable the way I carve these jewels. Like Olmecs exploding sets with my codex. Verses burn like the solar plex. On thrones we rest, entering temples where the scrolls were kept. Go my Uzbek bar, performing the El Magalage around the black men. But now we trapped in this western hemisphere, strung out on benefits, poor healthcare, disconnected from the 99 elements. In these perilous concrete laboratories, filled with guns, violence and robberies. Ask the question, is this prophecy?
Yo, traveling miles below polluted clouds, cars breezing through cold winds, depending on the cloak worn by older kings. Illuminated soul sings Masonic tones, bones with holes from clones with chromes, controlling the road. Sopranos, Capones, expose smoke throughout their nostrils, where the mass of a mind is astronomical. I even read the pages on the rules may base it. Discover what's dead is what never changes. The 7 heads settling tales of ancients, controlling agents, patrolling flagrant, posing with burners that will blow your face in. I call in the oldest to hold my raging, and studied lessons from the chosen patience. Position folded in the mode of praying. I came across something holy in the forces of death. Between pale horses, symbolic of flesh, ruling what's left. Symbols on your chest. I bit the fruit from where the truth was kept. For ruthless crews who recruit respect. Physical's magnetic, jeans is blue black, some dark reddish. My art perfected, still a hardest fetish. Architects from the smartest lectures, carving the texture. Remain marvel from the art of messengers. From shootouts and dark Novembers. Consequences of a spark temper, shot in the heart and ripped apart as leather. A backdraft of a past severed. I walk through apathetic hallways of death ghettos where pain echoes and dense pressure explodes. It's left for only less to know. From one sees breath, the rest will grow.
Pop schemes for knock claims, my name ring bells. Shot scenes through my lens frame, the reels was hell. Plans to swell like the wisdom teeth, my queen made bail. Back at piano classics, elite street bastard. Gunmen, they killed my cousin. Flee the scene, clear Mount Hayes, air out waves. 3 thieves grumbling, no stain on pant legs. Man be endangered species, plants damage and teams' dreams. Sip the purple straight from the veil, hear the homicide rate. Fame taste like vodka, improper lane change. Son of a Thomas Jefferson, slave down in VA. Clips of madness, poison sips, splits and sad riffs. I built the booth for my pain, where dark is massive. Caskets lined with tragic newspaper clipping. Words burned in the mind like it was branded on the temples. Crackheads, pissy mattress, syringes reinvent you. I'm programmed to survive against all odds. By any means, if that means pennies from fiends. Never sleep, even in the field of dreams. Squilling teams get the ceiling beams. Laying ground parallel for CSI teams. Elders shake their head looking at the Russian bloodstream.
Malevolent sons who sell guns with scarred masks. Shattered glass, scattered parts of the darkest hours. We target powers, fatherless flowers. Soul windows and syndromes, omens and various skin tones. Christened in brimstone, spirits and spliff chokes. Cloaks with clipped chromes and holy thrones. Soaked in committed gold, authentic and ferric glows. Derelict roads are known to imperative scrolls. Sell guns with scarred masks. Shattered glass, scattered parts of the darkest hours. We target powers, fatherless flowers, soul windows and syndromes, omens and various skin tones, christened in brimstone, spirits and spliff chokes, cloaks with clip chromes and holy thrones, soaked in committed higher learning.
Extrasensory perception to avoid all traps. Application of triple darkness. Vibes on spray like straight sleepers. Extrasensory perception to avoid all traps. Mind power. Triple darkness. Minds in another world.
My 16s are like black holes, portals to predate history, quantum leaping with ragged clothes. For every dynasty arose, a classic soul flow like a vibration told in dramatic poem. I took human form years ago at the beginning of time, just to feel how it was to die. The loss of life triggered my sight for open eyes. I came back several times to Uphold The Wise. The 144 cry, storm broke the skies. I manifested, left martyred in every direction. I stepped in the spot and lit the flame with the message. Your collective consciousness called me, it was destined. Inspiring movements, my fire and moon lit the path from the day I was born. Cause I'm in tune with the universe. So who be first to be immersed in Gaia's turf from a freedom fight back to earth?
As the world's turning. We brothers searching for a higher learning, to build an ark for the souls burning. Born into bondage, seems like we live in torture. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. From glorious days to grey shades of thunder. From a pilgrimage we came to conquer, and paint pictures with the greatest honor. And paint pictures with the greatest honor. Vivid images. Yo, brothers is drug abusing, their wounds oozing. A thugs movement in cars cruising, pursuing enemies, licking shots steadily. A rebel Esseny, a rebel disconnected from his legacy. Explained poetically his politics, rules the government metropolis. Veg rushed the spot, kept the rocks from swallowing. So many honored him. He took 2 steps and the law followed him. Led him to his death on was on reconnaissance. Religious warfares and trick revolutions. A rebels movement, a contribution to the death of Newton. What's left is losing. I close my eyes in search of places where the pharaohs reside. Amongst Kemetic tribes, flooded in ice with bundles of rice and trees blowing, witnesses seeds growing, besieged those Elohim's in sheep's clothing, where tomorrow's chosen and hearts are frozen. I play my part trying to walk the path of Moses, controlling soldiers. What brothers say it's hard to convert, keeping their hearts still a part of the dirt. Regardless of the path after this birth, I rather illustrate pictures of trick wisdom to civilize the 85% that's missing. As the world's relatively turning, we brothers searching for a higher learning, to build an ark for the souls burning. Born into bondage, seems like we live in torture. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. From glorious days to grey shades of thunder. From a pilgrimage we came to conquer, and paint pictures with the greatest honor. And paint pictures with the greatest honor. Vivid images. Use urge to explode from what they hold in these cold streets. We feel the slow breeze vibrating in lower frequencies from overseas. It's foreign madness. Attract forces from lost planets and civilize the mind from quoting holy tablets. And dreaming carrying brothers towards Nazareth, away from savages. Building bridges with kingly characters and urban higher learning, searching, burning, serving Catholics. Travel through rap passages of immaculate tolerance.
Black storm, mind of the massacre thought. Clash of the swords, spot the message that will travel my chords. Unravel chessboards, teleport pawns across the Lord's ancestral. Escalators of war, sleep I was taught, floating like space stations while assimilating the force of gravity, meditating before the Maccabees. A matter of reservoirs of anarchy ever poured. My sanity searching for 720, you'll see the sword, the Damocles.
Extrasensory perception to avoid all traps. Application of mind, triple darkness. Clouds will spray like street sweepers. Extrasensory perception to avoid all traps. Mind power, triple darkness. Minds in another world. Extrasensory perception to avoid all traps. Application of mind, triple darkness. Life forms beyond the strata. Extrasensory perception to avoid all traps. Mind power. I'ma take the world before I see my dreams frozen now.
All right, get rid of the bodies. 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 Rid of the bodies.
Sumerian scrolls. Apocalypse approach. Word of God. Yo. He was a man of peace, dwelling beneath was a forbidden beast. A predator's feast on the highest levels of beef. Wore cold featherless fleece with chrome metal. Unknown bezels on his gold kettle. 2 years ago his brother's soul settled with shots, forbidden plots to take over crops. Stained his chromosome on the block. His body rots from the wrath of somebody's glut. Had him turning into something he's not. His brother's mahogany top was the cause for his mother to drop. For hitting snakes it was an honor to watch. He baffled cops holding boxes in shops, claiming they knocking like a vision from SWAT. His ministers envisioned a sinister plot. He prophesied the revenge to make a departure of men. Knew the art of intent, a hardest friend with the sharpest pen. He fucked Charlotte cause she loved the path he chose. Used to have her in the smartest of clothes, the largest of no honor amongst thieves. So crops, glops and squeeze. Plots on my eavesdroppers, cops watch the street. Traveled on heated pavements with brothers slave for great payments. Face disintegrated in great lakes of hatred. She observed the foul doctrine. Glock popping, used to love boxing. Stole exposed, felt the whole globe was watching. A cold Sunday on the block shotting. Crystallized coke, the soul rotten like it's grown in the old coffin. She had him exposing his plans, body glitter like the golden sand. The face of beauty with the soul of Sam. She even fucked his older man and left him broke from a solar scam. And tried to warn him that the hole was bad. And with the right, she tried to hold his hand. The streets prophesized the hole in exchange for a load of grams. After a line of grams, let's talk death. She burned cess on the murderer's chest, preferred to keep the burner on the left. She knew who he burst in the flesh. A curse first for revenge, served him with sex. Exchanged words just to organize a cell. She made him remember the brother who popped in the past in the coldest weather. And now the older brother's so severed and wouldn't settle till there's holes in the fold from a chrome. There's no honor amongst thieves for crops, glops or squeeze plots from an eavesdroppers. Cops watch the street, traveling heated pavements with brothers slave for great payments. Face disintegrated in great lakes of hatred. There's no honor amongst thieves for crops, glops or squeeze plots from an eavesdroppers. Cops watch the street, traveling heated pavements with brothers slave for great payments. Face disintegrated in great lakes of hatred. High velocity shells map the blueprint, pursue movements to lunatics and a chick with militant clip. The dark arches of the car parks. Flashbacks from a past guard made him laugh cause his heart's hard. 2 roads away from where the guns spark. She snuck in the yard with no vision to see a target in the dark. He awoke as a presence blew an essence in his nose. Told her a dream of his last episode with weapons blow. She knew he left the metal chrome beneath the leather coat. In order to sever, let him settle with the heavens tone. Her velvet robe flickers from a divine wind. Beside him she lies with a vision to divide limbs. Her eyes lit the fires of sin. Witness the vibe from who bites and reveals the knife after she rides him. She cuts his face. By this time, a niggas rush the place. I reach for the glocks tucked underneath their waist. So where's the fucking safe? For you have me busting the case. Surprised she looked in her eyes and saw a snake. They never lost. Poisonous stares as she lost. Pushes fears in the past as he prepared for the blast. The final chapter of a man scarred who never saw the coming of a beast dressed in the hardest. There's no honor amongst thieves for crops, glops, or squeeze plots from an eavesdroppers. Cops watch the street, traveling heated pavements with brothers slave for great pavements. Face disintegrated in great lakes of hatred. There's no honor amongst thieves for crops, glops, or squeeze plots from an eavesdroppers. Cops watch the street, traveling heated pavements with brothers slave for great pavements. Face disintegrated in great lakes of hatred. Lakes of hatred. Universal indoctrination. Living dangerous. Deadly. Trap from the snake schedule. Get you buck quick, real quick. Let the world pass you by. Trap from the sin in your home. Word of God. Tone glisten like Porsches. Exploring the mass of your mind stuck inside a fortress. A sentimental temple of levels from where the source is. Searching for windows of a past with a blurry vision. Use a princess with a missing incision of hidden wisdom. You diss the promiscuous with your lip balm incision. In car parks I show these stark collisions as you spark what's missing. Apart from being a Christian, your mind is flawless. Your hazel brown eyes shine, drown me inside the vortex. You got me feeling for sweet cuddles beneath grey clouds and black puddles. Living roads away from where your man hustles. Claiming you ain't walking the path that chose to stack bundles. Picture a crack couple collapsing from a Mac tussle. To say the words and I won't hesitate to make a presence. Replacing his essence with no weapons. Hope you get this message. Melanin tone, saffron's grown on the mountains of Eurasia. Binary chemistries evolve until we form a quasar. She be the rose of a kingdom, I greet in visions. Prestige intuitions, I dream seeking with wisdom. Melanin tone, saffron's grown on the mountains of Eurasia. Binary chemistries evolve until we form a quasar. She be the rose of a kingdom, I greet in visions. Prestige intuitions, I dream seeking with wisdom. Use the earth from the 4 prominent elements of birth, revolving around my physical. My world sickle, your spiritual. Always be missing you, more always visible when kissing you. I'm always handing you jewels, so when you move it sticks on you. Your smile is like a sun reflecting Arabian seas. I see the physical features of me within the seas, so please keep this a secret like keys to hidden hallways of doors revealing what's more. We talk without the foreplay. Ain't a coincidence we celebrate the same born day. Unlike your man who runs scams and never keeps you in his plans. Always stand what you stand for was never for the grands. It even made me want you more, the female version of my cause. Mentally ready for war, tats on your belly, looking cuter than your enemy Kelly, who's belling me more. Picking you cherries as we settle on the heavenly shores, away from the deadliest legacies where enemies war. Melanite tones, saffron's grown on the mountains of Eurasia. Binary chemistries evolve until we form a quasar. She be the rose of a kingdom, I greet visions, prestige, intuitions, I dream seeking with wisdom. Melanite tones, saffron's grown on the mountains of Eurasia. Binary chemistries evolve until we form a quasar. She be the rose of a kingdom, I greet visions, prestige, intuitions, I dream seeking with wisdom. Your visions foresee, there's no more than me. Born as a fallen leaf, ballers on court orders and corners where the crawlers be. Born a petite, small feet, torn in between, shedding tears over lovers like a suffering fiend. Picture a couple with corruption and schemes, lust in the dream, gently scuffle just to touch you while you sat and lean. Discoveries from undercovers is trouble and fiend. Reason you struggle just to hug me and leave. Your heart is trouble like a motherless sea, floating like bubbles on the muffin belief. Who crumbles in the siege, a lovable Eve, as sacred as you be. Your wisdom for seekers yet to sparkle amongst crews that scheme to knock you. I just watch you. Corrupt moves to push a wild doctrine is foul. Similar situations of a sacred Nubian child.
Motherfucking 5%. So, motherfuckers be dancing on stage doing their little fucking tap dance Sammy Davis act, and they forget about the motherfucking 95%, which is the heard and not seen shit. It's the motherfucking promoters, the motherfucking management that's making it happen. You know what I mean? That's why I respect your man, Brian. You do your thing, but you don't need to crawl around and do that, man. You just figure out more business, learn more business, learn more business, learn more business. Learn more business, learn more business. So when you got so much business going on, you don't need to rap no more. Guess what you're doing? You're wrapping rubber bands around your fucking paper. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta do a damn thing. You ain't even gotta talk.
TD, it's about time we about do. TD, spit the sickest rhymes, what about you? TD, it's about time we about do. TD, spit the sickest rhymes, what about you? When I'm dead, Canaanites spit the knowledge, my chromosomes like fossils and stones. Another brother shot from a chrome, crops of unknown haze linger around the block from a smoke. His younger lungs choke, tussle with the hunger for growth. My black rose stuck in a black hole. She's fascinated by whoever wants to let this strap blow. We counter that though, and regulate the earth's weight in gold like Enki. I meditate to travel your mind to the waters of Euphrates. I draw the sword of a warlord and pierce your chakras. I read so many chapters of Black Shaka from Africa. Forgotten massacres, now it's plotting, shotting inhabitants. Dilapidated labyrinths for Africans. Polished clips in this golden metropolis. Democracy's on its trick. We never gave a fuck when they elect this one government. I travel to the darkest continents to witness UFOs and aeronautical modes, leaving the globe prominent. The triple stage of the dark matter. We read the page of the last days to revelate the Luciferian age and break the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one. From triple stage of the dark matter, we read the page of the last days to revelate the Luciferian age and break the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one.
I'm from Cratney, where the black kids live off latch keys and harbor dreams to stack G's. Only half graduate from the street academies, reduced to acts of savagery, immersed in the malady, searching for sanctuary. Every verse I spit shrapnel grammatically. Life's tragedies captured panoramically. Focused through the point of my pen, like a cherry on the L skin. In my ends, niggas feel the force of hell's winds. 12 sins, no repentance. Co-defendants running concurrent on a sentence. Missed his daughter's 5th birthday. Why we live the worst way? Burning spray, moving working yay. Memoirs of a slave, stolen from Tamaray. In these dystopian days, I refocus my gaze on the baby mother. Tears splashing for seeds face. Coke inside the briefcase. Bodies going missing without a trace. 1 week later, police identify the deceased. A mother's heart breaks and turns cold like stone columns. Now she sat solemn, dressed in black beside an old coffin. Pleading with the most high while the chrome popping. Niggas stay rubbing, cane shutting. Exploits of the downtrodden flowers blossom. But the ghetto always turns them rotten. but the ghetto always turns them rotten.
From triple stage of the dark matter, we read the page of the last days to revelate the Luciferian age and break the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun, uniting forces as one. From triple stage of the dark matter, we read the page of the last days to revelate the Luciferian age and break the attributes of a slave and form together like the gases of the sun.
I decipher your artistry, brought clarity to what was hard to see. A part of me sharded by larceny. I craft odysseys deeper than Scientology laboratories, performing experimental monopolies on project properties, advertising they sodomy philosophy. The populace practicing pagan mythology, abrasion scraping our naked psychology. Who felt scrutinized Western ideology? Blocks clock with peeps who hustle rocks to eat. The muscle is heat. Away out possibly is fossil deep. Coppers creep, watch me copper heat. It's authority. Your Glock 9 with spot mine with prophecy. They ain't trying to keep the streets clean, so I correlate minds like planets aligned to stop the beast instead of copy keys. Breaking up pieces of beef for use to shot in streets only cements the throne of hypocrisy. Who claim to govern properly but profit from popping up poppy trees. It's commodity, by the time it hits the block we chop it and breeze. Escaping solitary, puffing on chemical green melodically. Our minds confined demonically, that's why I got to speak. My pen explodes like Lockerbie across these rotten streets. This doctrine's deeply encrusted with jewels I drop on beats.
Mentally barricaded in the fortress of a chrome pistol. Residues of snow glows up his nose like crystals. A tortured soul trapped inside a ritual. The son of a soul ashamed who studied divine principles. Was nurtured by wise men who harbored the finest minerals. A child who dwells in the mind of a criminal. Birthed on the plate of Tamaray. Leviathan controlled his mind state from the age of 8. Russian clips he sprayed, skin black as shade. Max with grenades. Flashbacks of two malices who ran in his place. Sodomized his mother with a strap to her face. Dismembered from the waist. His tears contained a sour taste of fate as he laid on his earth's torn anatomy. A victim of a political tragedy. Civilians forced to vote for democratic families. Was taken to camps and trained on charges of amnesty and treason. Now he's fighting for a devil's legion. Stuck in the UN region. The black seed of a demon. Traumatizing villages. Chopping off limbs and wrists. The moon shows a blood-covered eclipse. He loved to hear the sound of fear governing the suffering kid. The blueprints of Raziel misled into the path of hell. Banished the innocent from physical realms. Executing fatal punishments for sacrificial governments. Who build on economic dominance. The principles of public population was built on a biomedical invasion. Indispensable, spontaneous creation, where radiant souls awaken, unveiled his own pace, spoken revelation. Could no longer feel the connection of soul. He's just burning as he woke. The sight of flesh disintegrating, making him choke as he vomits through his nose. Standing on a pillar with a lake of fire below. How could this be his home? He was shot in a rebellious war with a chrome as he touches the top of his torn cranium and fills a hole. Now who's his leader? His skin begins to peel with creatures, snakes and leeches beneath his burnt feet like Jesus. Pagans and heathens scream for salvation with faces of bereavement. He stumbles into a pit of diseases with no inoculation treatments. Just an invitation from Satan's greeting of a deed counted for eternity in non-existent time dimensions of fraternity.
Hey yo, these rhymes are sprayed crooked like a dirty tech. Bodies bound in barbed wire, blood laced with crystal meth. Children cry tears and neglect. Betrayal could amount to death. We cradle our flesh amongst worldly things, from false prophets to false kings. Angels with torn wings, formed from primordial chaos. A chemical seance rose to untold heights of ecstasy. It almost felt heavenly, falling hellbound. A couple duffel bags and a dragon stout. Food on the boiler, bouts of paranoia. Stealing closures, street diplomas. Mind deep in a coma, enticed by a weed aroma down Jacob's ladder. We tumble like marble dice, gems that sparkle eyes. Sons who bubble whites for a couple pies. Yo, I never cast my pearls to swine. Tactical minds, dark designs. Solemn words taken from the wise.
You people laughed. You people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the lines from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, 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 the destroyer of worlds."
We come from dungeons of darkness. Oh, we took our flight within the night. Send a dome to shine amongst men like stars. We travel through the astral plane to see ourselves kings again. The sun is like a shining sphere, piercing through all the of creation. Children of the sun, hear my drum and come. Children of the sun, hear my drum and come. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Children of the sun, hear my drum and come. Children of the drum, hear the sun come. Oh, oh, down, 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 down. Yeah, yeah, no, no. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Children of the sun, hear my drum and come, come. Children of the sun, hear my drum and come. Ooh, yeah. For that's the way of time.
Yo, weighing crack on scales, empty and max shells. I witnessed the end of an era by 2012. Maxing on cells prevent me from relaxing. Atmosphere madness push the earth backwards on its axis. Ice caps collapsing, cause a madman's actions trapped in without a plan for counter reaction. Cameras caption actions without flashing. And every black skin, whether we're legal or paying taxes, we get by telling lies without a bias to white guys. To survive in this hype life, we utilize the mind right and enlighten the wise in the skies like Morpheus in this never-ending fight. Split slip to elevate the wisdom, politicking for better positions. Tuition the mission, remain practiced until the day of execution. Soldiers as captains from the day of their recruitment. Cause life is a gamble when we all place bets. Living in this mess, I'm blessed, heavy oxygen breath. For all my brothers having problems, and the only way to solve them is death. I show respect for all my soldiers in the flesh. Cause life is a gamble when we all place bets. Living in this mess, I'm blessed, heavy oxygen breath. For all my brothers having problems, and the only way to solve them is death. I show respect for all my soldiers in the flesh. Witness the most corrupted days. You can say my luck's running astray. Still remain stuck in my ways. In this fast race, it's hard to keep up with the pace. Days fade strange, working on some futuristic slave trader today. Many still remain afraid of change. Playing PlayStations while space stations remain. I meditate to balance the mind state. Drowning in champagne alongside braids with veteran aims. Some say it gets no better than Kane. Circulate your weight and maintain as we celebrating the flame. Strategic aim, seek for fame. Twisting trees to ease the pain. Insane brain shift came from night to day and rain fast for 40 days. Others are laughing, cleaning up their ways. And youths are more professional than Nino at his game. Gone way past the point of being ashamed. Kilos claim, Negroes frame what the Freemasons aim. Cause life is a gamble when we all place bets. Living in this mess, I'm blessed, heavy oxygen breath. For all my brothers having problems, and the only way to solve them is death. I show respect for all my soldiers in the flesh. Cause life is a gamble when we all place bets. Living in this mess, I'm blessed, heavy oxygen breath. For all my brothers having problems, and the only way to solve them is death. I show respect for all my soldiers in the flesh. Technology shackles the ankles, hassled like animals. Feds clapping max at black cats, snatching bangles. And for your kangle, man I eat man like cannibal. In this heated land, the angriest man can't handle. I bit the fruit of truth with my wisdom tooth, and found peace like a Muslim schooling new recruits to make use for moves. Rover crews, we shot 2 and 2. Jules with 720, beyond revolver, spinning 360 stiffly. I learned the street technique from my council estate peeps, and how to take peas and spot the Jake's Creek. A mother's weak when guns get clapped from close feet. Foes, hoes and G's is not how it's supposed to be. I sit back and analyze the facts of how many blacks dispatch cracks the cats, the devil laughs at that. I sit back and analyze the facts of how many blacks dispatch cracks the cats, the devil laughs at that. Cause life is a gamble when we all place bets. Living in this mess, I'm blessed, heavy oxygen breath. For all my brothers having problems, and the only way to solve them is death. I show respect for all my soldiers in the flesh. Cause life is a gamble when we all place bets. Living in this mess, I'm blessed, heavy oxygen breath. For all my brothers having problems, and the only way to solve them is death. I show respect for all my soldiers in the flesh.